Hello. I forgot I need to make this public. I was intending for it to be public when I made it live, but no. How do I do that again? There we go. Public. There we go. Live stream start. Welcome Ikazuchi, Sagi, Bato, Grand Muteki, Bravenagi for arriving early. This standard monthly live stream time. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. I remember a while ago someone asked what happened to Talking Jujube, and this is basically the revival of Talking Jujube, just doing the monthly live stream scan discussion. It's much easier than doing Talking Jujube as well. So let's see, people are starting to show up. That's a lot of Japanese text, and I can't read it. I see Kamen Rider, I think, in there, but I don't know what it says. So, but welcome, Daniel Majesty, King Terreno, Master J45. Welcome. We'll go maybe another minute or two before I start talking about the scans. As usual, in the description, I have a link to all the scans stuff that I'm going to be talking about. If you want to follow along, even though I'm going to show pictures if you just want to look at stuff on your own. And also linked in the description is the video to submit for Toku Ideas 3. If you have not done that yet and you want to submit, I'm unlisting that video and I'm closing submissions in basically 12 hours. So 12 hours if you still want to submit. You don't need to submit. I go over everything in that video, but you don't need to submit like a really fully complete idea if you can't make one, because I'm not going to discriminate. Everyone has different limits of what their ideas can get to. So whatever you have, if you want to submit, you can submit in the next 12 hours. And if you submit after the next 12 hours, then I'm going to delete that email and I'm not going to look at it. Sorry. I'm actually talking about Ultraman today too, because I'm gonna keep it short because I know most people on the channel probably don't watch Ultraman or care about Ultraman. I'm actually switching the order because there's not a lot for Saber for once, and there's a lot for Zenkaiger, even though technically it's stuff we've already known about. But it is gonna be. I'm switching the order. So Saber, I'm going to talk about Saber because there's not a lot of pictures. Then Trigger, because Trigger. And then in the middle, or at the end, I'm going to talk about Zenkaiger because Zenkaiger has a lot of pictures and I want to look at the pictures. Even though I will admit this is probably the most disappointing Zenkaiger magazine scans so far because Magine is barely in them. She's in one tiny little corner, and that makes me sad. Where's the Magine picture? What Magine picture? How many ideas have I received so far? Last I checked, which was an hour ago or something, there was over 200. So that's fun. What about 01? Oh yeah, I'll talk about I don't have any pictures, but I'll talk about the lone wolf form. I'll talk about it right now. It looks cool. That's it. I like the look of it. I was just really worried they were going to repaint Assault Wolf again because he uses the Assault Wolf key, but instead they took a weird turn and they repainted Ichigata again, but that's something different. I wasn't expecting that, so I'm okay with that. It's cool. I'm excited to see it in action in the movie. And I do appreciate he's using the 01 driver. That's a little bit of a different touch for Vulcan. He's the first, or not the first, he's the first other character to use the 01 driver besides Aruto himself, right? I'm not sure if I'm correct in that, but someone can confirm. Are you sick? Is that why you're sniffing? No, I'm not sick. I just sniff a lot because that's the thing I do. Have I watched the Real X Time movie? I've not watched any of the movies that have come out in the last, what? Real X Time came out, Metsubo Jinrai came out, and the Saber movie came out, and I haven't watched any of them. So, I know the spoilers. Please try not to spoil the movie in case no one has seen it. But I have seen I do know the spoilers, so like, I know what I'm expecting in the movies, but I haven't actually watched the movies. So, oh yeah, Azu used the 01 driver. Thank you. So then he's the third character to use the 01 driver. So there you go. Azu technically, or no, not Azu. Someone said Hirobi used it. Hirobi didn't use the 01 driver. Technically, it's technically the ARC driver, or the Zetsumetsu driver. Feels like there's going to be a bit where Fua forces the key open like usual and causes the belt to have an error. Could be funny. That's very possible. I'm kind of expecting he's going to force it open and then authorize it, and they might have a joke where it's like, Fua, you didn't need to break it open. It authorizes it for you to open it. But there's definitely something they can do there. I mean, I think that it works with the shot riser too, because Valkyrie puts it in first and then opens it fine. I feel like that's the joke they're gonna go for, but who knows? But that was from Deep Six Pictures with the $5 super chat. Thank you for that, and thank you for that wonderful insight with forcing open the key. So now let's get into Kamen Rider stuff, because Kamen Rider, right? Am I right? Oh, that's the wrong thing I need to select. Where am I selecting? Okay, there we go. So I'm actually not starting with this picture. Let's go back a second. There we go. Oh, no. There we go. So Kamen Rider Saber this month is getting crazy, I guess. I don't know, more people are showing up. So our big thing is now we have Kamen Rider Solomon. I think that's his name. That's what I've seen everyone call him. But I also don't like the name, so that's maybe I've just kind of been blocking it out of my mind, so I don't think about that. But his name is Kamen Rider Solomon, and this is, I think, what Master Logos uses. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I don't think I've actually seen a picture where he is transforming into him, so that's interesting. But he's our big boss rider dude. And the suit is interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. I like it, I guess, but I don't love it really. It's weird because the head is a Jao Dragon repaint. I think it's just a straight up repaint. There's no retooling going on, and I think the helmet looks amazing. I love the colors. The red eyes look great, and then the gold and silver and black just really blend together nicely. And I think the helmet just looks awesome. The suit is fine. In a weird twist, as people have pointed out, he's a repaint of Kashin from Geo. If you don't remember Geo, or Kashin from Geo, he was like the robot soldier dudes of Oma Geo. In the show, he showed up like for 2 episodes, and that was it. And then he appeared in a bunch of them appeared in like some of the movies. But I don't know what the designers struck the designers to grab a random suit from Geo and then stick a driver on it, and now it's a Kamen Rider. I can appreciate that, the uniqueness of that, I guess. And the cape is also ripped from I think the Durian form, the King Durian form from the Gaim versus, or the Bravo versus Gridon V Cinema. So okay, it's a really strange kit bash. There's been kit bashes where they grab suits from different shows, I think, but Kashin is a weird choice for a kit bash. But I mean, I don't mind it. It's the helmet is definitely the best part, but the suit it works. It's not bad, but I'm not like, oh, I love it. I don't know. It's okay. The book is called the Omniforce, I think. There's no title on it in this picture, so that's not very nice. Why did you do this, Toei? And it looks like it's a repaint, or sorry, not a repaint, a remold of X Swordsman, because he's got all the different pages, and I would assume they're just different attacks because he doesn't have different forms like X Swordsman in these scans at least. So, yeah, I guess, I mean, there you go. He is Master Logos because he's right here too. So, also in this month we're getting Elemental Dragon. Can you believe this? I'm just kidding. We just got Blade's debut in Tatagami Hyoju Senki. It feels like it was just yesterday. I was talking about Tatagami Hyoju in a stream, so that's the state of time for you. It doesn't make sense. It feels like it was yesterday and years ago at the same time, and I don't like that. And then Falcon in the back too, because Falcon is making his big return. So back to Solomon, he's just getting around and he's fighting everyone, I guess. But on the right, or I mean, the big picture here is like Saber versus Solomon, but up here is like a different fight that we've been seeing for like, this picture came out like 2 months ago, I think, or it was leaked like 2 months ago. So it's really satisfying to see it in an official format. Technically, this isn't official. This is a leaked magazine picture, I think. So, but the magazine's official, I guess. That's the point I was trying to make. Let's see, €5 super chat from Patty Murphy. Thank you for the super chat, and he says he got the Ben 10 Omniforce book. I mean, I guess. Maybe he has 10 different. Well, there's a rumor he is made from 10 different swords, so maybe he's got the 10 different swords like Ben 10 has 10 aliens. I don't know. And then up here he's fighting Caliber, and the interesting one is over here where he's fighting Reika and Ryoga, the Sabella and Durandal. So they're not they're not dealing with him anymore. They're out of there. They're their own people. I would assume they're not just joining Toma and the others just yet, because that's like, why would they do that? I mean, they don't like Solomon anymore, but they wouldn't join the good guys quite yet, I think. So I think there's some interesting faction stuff going on for the time being. Probably won't last long because Toma needs all the swords for his final form. And then I guess that or no, here you can see you can kind of see it, or you can see it better up here. He's using a repainted King Excalibur for his, I assume, his main weapon. What's interesting is it doesn't, maybe it's just the angle here, but it doesn't really match his sword horn. So that's a weird thing. And he's also the first rider to be using a different, to transform using a non-Seiken sword, because so far all of our riders, their sword is one of the 12, is it 12 or 11 Seikens that has special element powers or whatever. His does not have, and I assume it does not have an element, and at least his sword is not a Seiken. So I think that's an interesting twist on this, I assume, this final boss rider. He breaks the rules. I do wish he just used the King Excalibur, because that was kind of dropped a bit. Toma did use it a bit until I think they stole it. Yeah, they've stolen it for a while. So I kind of wish he just used King Excalibur, because I mean, that would be cool if he just used the older weapon. But I mean, the repaint matches his suit very nicely, so there's that. And then this is next week's episode, and I remember talking about this when we got a preview of it in the last month's scan, so it's kind of weird it's back here, like we already saw this, but whatever. I like they establish Master Logos as a threat to the riders before he's a rider himself by somehow single-handed wielding the Dogoken Gekido, who I think Buster even always uses two hands when wielding it. So the fact this guy is not even transformed and he's swinging it around with one hand, I mean, he's pretty strong. He's pretty good. He knows what he's doing before he sticks a belt on his waist and puts a weird book in it. And he also has Ikazuchi, and there's beautiful irony where Kento is getting his ass kicked by his old sword weapon. So that's very funny. My favorite part of this is up here, where it appears Master Logos just sets up his throne in the middle of this meadow, and then the other characters see him and they're like, oh, okay, now we should fight him. So he's just, his hand's even out. He's just chilling. He's vibing, and he's gonna kick some people's ass with swords. And I think this is the beginning of Kento and Toma, or at least Caliber, not being quote unquote evil, even though he's not like evil exactly. He's trying to help in a weird way. But I assume this is the beginning of him teaming up with the others again. Because here it looks like he's with Tatagami Hyoju, Blades. I mean, they're not fighting each other, but they're also not, I don't know. I would assume he's probably not gonna like chill out in the base, but I would assume he's not gonna try to kill everyone. Actually, he's not trying to kill everyone. He's just trying to take the swords. But here is the Televikun hyper battle. Why is this like always reappearing? This has been in like 3 magazines already. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. We know it's the thing. Here's the book. I think this is our first look at the story page. Makes me wonder if it's gonna be deluxe, because why would you show that off? And that's it. So Falchion is the other big part of this month where he's just coming back. I have to give props to Toei. That is beautifully timed with the movie coming out on DVD and Blu-ray. Like literally weeks, just a few weeks before he comes back in the show. So the movie, at least to us who couldn't see it in theaters, the movie just kind of becomes like a weird flashback. Like Falchion comes back. Remember when we had this adventure with Falchion? You don't get to see it in the show, but it happened. I mean, there's not much to say here. Did Falchion appear in the monthly scans before? I don't remember talking. Actually, I don't think I was talking about the scans at that point. So he probably was. Yeah, I think he was for sure. But Falchion's here in the show. I still hate his belt. His suit is cool though. But I don't like the belt. I'm not going to talk about the belt anymore. I guess this is confirmation that Saber and Caliber are just chilling out now, because he's fighting both of them. Down here is another wonderful full circle moment where we got this leaked like a while ago, and now it's here again, even though you can barely see the picture, so it doesn't matter. And one thing people have pointed out, I did not notice this is other people, Bacht doesn't have like the makeup on his face. In the movie, which again I have not seen, people asking what did I think of the movie, I haven't seen it yet, but in the movie he has like stuff on his face, and it looks like he doesn't have stuff on his face here, so I don't know if that has to do with anything. There's also an interesting like question of like, what has Bacht been doing this whole time? Why is he back now? Why don't they show him in the scan? Like, he's barely here, and I don't think he's on this page at all. Yeah, he's just, oh no, he's down here, never mind. And he's still not wearing a shirt. Please put a shirt on. But Bacht is back. There you go. That I should have, disappointed I didn't make that joke, but Bacht is back, and he's just fighting everyone again. So we have Solomon appearing and fighting everyone, and then Bacht appearing and fighting everyone. So we just have two insane people with swords trying to kill everyone. So that's quite the development for this month in Saber. One interesting thing about this picture is, for some reason, well, first off, Emotional Dragon is back in the show, so that's really cool. I love seeing the movie. I mean, Falcon appearing in the show itself is a really cool movie exclusive rider appearing in the show, so he's not movie exclusive anymore. I love stuff like that. That's just kind of a cool touch. But then to add on to that, we have the movie exclusive form from that same movie coming back, and that is also a really cool touch. And the fact they're just fighting each other again, so we're basically getting the Kamen Rider Saber movie part 2, Electric Boogaloo, is really awesome. But the weird part is he has he has Elemental Dragon's head. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I've seen a lot of speculation. This could just be like a mid-transformation scene. Like he was in Elemental Dragon, and then he decided to switch to Emotional Dragon because balked. And then like they're doing like a transformation thing where like the head changes first, and then the body changes first, and then the head is gonna change. And for some reason they took a picture of that and stuck it in the magazine. Or it could be like a weird power up for Emotional Dragon, and he has the elemental head for some strange reason. They both have like the blue flame thing, so I guess that could be the connection. For now, this is going to be called Elemotional Dragon by me. But I'm excited to see what that does, and I'm excited to see it in the show. I don't think we've had movie form appear in the show since Geo, I guess. It hasn't been that long. The Double and Kuga forms appeared in the movie first and then in the show. But I don't think we've had a movie exclusive rider appear in the show in forever. I can't think. Let's see. Geo did not have a movie exclusive rider. 01 did not have Ichigata appear in the show. Build did not have Blood appear in the show, or I guess if you count the Kaisers appearing as in repainted colors. But XA did not have Genomes or whoever appear. So I can't think of the last time a movie writer just appeared in the show, let alone not only just like appear in the show, but also like he has story relevance, because his sword is technically the last of the 11 swords to form the final form in the book of Omnipa whatever. So I just realized the Omniforce book shares the name with the book of Omnipotence. So I mean, they were obviously connected, but I guess that's an interesting touch to show how powerful Solomon is. He's like a big chunk of the thing. Oh, that's true. Thank you, Dragonfire Studios. Literally last season, Eden appeared in 01, but technically, I mean, he appeared in the show, but I guess to what I was saying, like, he just cameoed. Falcon's literally beating everyone's ass, and he's playing a role. So, I guess that's, I don't know. Reiwa is just gonna have its writers appear in the show, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Also on this left side is a wonderful set of pictures where Disaster got off Twitter again and is just he's just talking to Ren, and Ren's face is so funny. It's this weird combination where he looks angry and bored and like angry again and tired. He also looks maybe a bit hungry. That's a wonderful picture. Good on you, Toei, for putting that in the magazine. And I assume this is next episode, but I'm not really sure. Luna just comes back and Thomas says hi to her. She's in the preview, so maybe after next episode, because she's in the preview for next episode, I would assume. So everyone who was like, Luna's May or Luna's Sophia, no, she's just Luna. They're three separate people, so that's fun. And also, Ren gets his sword unsealed, I think, because he's using the Hayate. And I guess I forgot to mention it earlier that, what's his name? Daishinji gets his sword unsealed too, because he's as Slash again. So, that's it for Saber. As I said, there wasn't really much of. I mean, there was a lot here. It's literally the return of a big bad who literally had to have like a special movie devoted to him, and our big boss dude as a writer. So I mean, to say it's not a lot is a little insulting, but compared to the last few months, there's not as many pictures. That's the difference. So, what do you guys think of Solomon, the suit, the story possibilities with Master Logos becoming a writer, and also the what's his name, Falchion, just chilling out and kicking everyone's booty again in the show? Dark Ghost appeared in the show. Okay. Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Dark Ghost, not Gark Ghost or whatever. So Luna isn't gonna get older. I thought she would at least get older after being saved. I mean, yeah, I guess she's not gonna get older. Probably just because it would be a weird thing with, like, I don't know. We've seen her as the one actress and to suddenly switch and no, it's this person would probably be a little bit confusing for kids, maybe, and maybe just like from a story perspective, it's kind of weird. Do I believe we will get more human Zenkaigers? Yeah, I think we're gonna get more human Zenkaigers, but I'll get to Zenkaiger in a second, in a moment, in a wee little bit. So it is just striking me now that it is a little. Well, I mentioned it earlier, but going through the scans, we don't have any pictures of Master Logos transforming into Solomon. Like, technically, there's nothing that shows he is Master. Oh no, just looking at the pictures and the way the show's going, it's obvious it is Master Logos, but there's nothing that explicitly shows it's Master Logos. I think, at least in these pictures, because there's nothing of him with the book or the belt or the transformation. I guess they're hiding that from us. Why are you doing that, Toei? What's so special about it? I'm also. Oh yeah, I was just about to mention this. Did you hear about the leaked DX swords for Sabella and Durandal? Yes, I'm very excited because I want those two swords. Those are two very cool swords, and I need them to go with the other swords I have. And I just really hope they're sold on their own, either in a pack together or like individually. I don't care. I just don't want them to be sold with Solomon's stuff, because at this point, I don't really want a repainted King of Arthur's sword. I'm okay with the blue one that I have. I'll pick up the black King of Arthur's sword in like 3 years when it's up on stores for like $2. But I don't need it for now. If the Omniforce book goes up on its own, no, I won't get it either. No, if I'm not getting the sword, I don't need the book. I also question if they're even going to release the sword, because like it just seems like a weapon he has in the scans. It's not even. Well, it's part of the book, I guess. I don't know. Solomon's weird. Who knows what the hell they're doing with Solomon, but no. Kamen Rider Solomon is actually the slime in Master Logos' mouth. Please no. I don't want it. That is the worst scene in Kamen Rider. I'm sorry. I hate that scene so much. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should be thankful. So that's, I guess we'll leave it at that for Kamen Rider Saber, and let's move on very briefly. I'll try to keep this under like 5 minutes for the non-Ultraman fans. Let's quickly talk about Ultraman Trigger, because Ultraman Trigger is coming out, and I'm excited because it's a new Ultraman show, and I like Ultraman now, but I also haven't seen Taiga, and I have no connection to Taiga other than he's one half of Spatium Zephyrion. So Ultraman Taiga is the next Ultraman show. Thank you, Ultraman Global, for having a wonderful thing on the side here so I can just read this. 25 years after Ultraman Taiga. New TV series Ultraman Trigger New Generation Taiga starts broadcasting in Japan from July 10th. Ultraman Day 2021. There is no word, I think, on a simulcast for Trigger, but I think they re-aired Zet after after they simulcast that, and then they re-aired it again. So I mean, I assume it did good enough that they're like, let's do the next character. Oh yes, thank you guys. I said Taiga because it's kind of like you could read it Taiga, but there is an actual dude named Taiga, and I need to pronounce this Tiga. So thank you for the thank you for the correction. Tiga. If you add an R, it's Triga, which sounds like trigger. So that's good. Good job, Super High. So about the new hero, Ultraman Trigger, a giant of light revived after millennia. In addition to his natural form, multi-type, he can change into power type that fights with Herculean strength and sky type for aerial combat and agility. He wields the sacred weapon Circle Arms, and just like Tiga, he has the three forms. And I've seen like a couple clips of Tiga where like the transformation between the two forms is like they just like in After Effects or something, they just change the color of the other one. I think, I don't know, that's what it looks like to me. That's a cool effect, so I'm kind of hoping they kind of stick with that simple effect, but give it like the 21st century flair or whatever. Actually, I think Tiga came out in the 21st century, but anyway. So of the three forms, power type is the best because it's red. I'm very original, I know, but the multi-form looks cool too. Just like Tiga's multi-form is cool, and I like as I said, I like just the three form aspect of Tiga is really interesting. So the protagonist, Kengo Manaka, will be played by Raiga Terasaka. Kengo is a sociable, kind, and hardworking member of Guts Selected who has a fiery sense of justice. And he is... Guts, I believe, is the Tiga... Tiga. Guts is Tiga's strike team. So Guts Selected is... they literally just said Tiga Electric Boogaloo. So, I mean, that is kind of what this is. In every aspect, it is meant to be a sequel to Tiga, so I should probably watch Tiga. Or if not, I'm going to have a lot of questions on Twitter and Discord about what the hell everyone's talking about. So, the design is basically just kind of like a modern-day Tiga. So, in one hand, it's like, okay, it's not really that crazy, but on the other hand, it's like, I mean, it's a very nice sequel to Tiga in a visual aspect. I don't know about the show aspect because the show hasn't started. So, I'm trying to see if there's a picture of the changer. We're gonna turn this off for a second, and I'm gonna see if there's a picture of his brand new toys, so we can. I want to talk about his toy because his toy looks kind of cool, and it's also expensive. So I mean, what Ultraman toy isn't expensive? But no, this is oh no, don't hit the okay, well, I can't find the other thing, so we're just gonna there's no toy. no toy. Here, have this beautiful picture of power type. That's a really nice picture. So the toy is cool. It's a gun. I've never really expressed this, but my biggest gripe with the Ultraman changers is they're always like just kind of a weird nothing. Like, they're just a weird like device that's purely just to transform. And what I mean by that is like Sentai, their changers are always like a gun, or it's like a phone, or it's like a wrist thing. Kamen Riders are always belts, and like it's just the Ultraman devices are always usually like a weird thing you pull out of nowhere, and its only purpose is to transform you. And the other two changers that I'm at least used to, it's not Ultraman's fault, it's just what I'm used to, is the changers that kind of have some functionality or have some like purpose on the suit, I guess, if that makes sense. So what I really like about Trigger's device is that it's a gun, so it has some practical purpose for the characters, and then he can also just use it to turn into Ultraman. So, and that's why I like the Orb Caliber so much, because it's a sword weapon, and then it's also his like changer in a way. So, yeah, that's he also has his the I don't know what they're called, but he has basically Gaia memories from Kamen Rider Double, and one of those Gaia memories was called the Trigger memory. So coincidence, definitely 100% a coincidence, but it's a very fun coincidence, and they look cool. That's probably my favorite Ultraman gimmick, actually, because on the same lines as like the changers, the recent gimmicks are kind of just nothing to me. Like I'm never a huge fan of card gimmicks, and the medals and like the weird little thingies, the capsules, I don't know, they're never just super interesting to me. But the colorful USBs that make yelling sounds, that really speaks to me. So I really like that. Maybe I'll grab the changer in like a year or something. I'm a little financially busy with Saber and Zenkaiger. I would like to be financially busy with Dino Fury, but they're never going to put those Zords up for pre-order. So thank you, Hasbro. I want to give you money, Hasbro, but they're not going to let me get the money. So that's Ultraman Trigger. Any thoughts on Ultraman Trigger? Another €5 super chat from Patty Murphy. Thank you so much. He says, love how Bandai... Wait, hold on. I know what he's talking about, so I'm going to put... Here we go. Okay, there we go. Love how Bandai clearly wanted to get 3 weapons out of Trigger's weapon, but had no idea how to do that, so now the power form gets a pair of scissors. That's true. The sword looks fine, and the bow looks really cool. But yeah, this is just... it's just the sword cut in half with nothing. Honestly, they should have had one of the pieces just detached so he's holding 2 swords, right? I mean, that makes sense. But yeah, he's just got a weird scissors. I mean, yeah, there's no other way to describe it. Those are scissors. So that's it. Ultraman Trigger. I'm excited for Ultraman Trigger. I saw someone ask, what do I recommend for new people who are trying to get into Ultraman? I would recommend either Orb or Jeed. Both of those, probably Orb more for new fans, because Orb doesn't really connect to anything else Ultraman. Jeed does connect to a lot of things Ultraman, but I don't think it comes at the cost of understanding the show. As long as you watch the episode 0, the connections in Jeed don't come at the cost of understanding the show, and instead I think benefit it and open you up to the world of Ultraman. So Orb, if you don't want to watch an episode 0, Jeed, if you want to watch the episode 0 for which Ultraman show to watch. That's my recommendation. If anyone in the chat has more Ultraman experience than me, which is probably most of you, then feel free to recommend a good starting series for anyone who wants to start Ultraman and maybe wants to watch Trigger, or at the least who wants to start Ultraman. So that is it for Ultraman Trigger. Now let's get into Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, which is I love Zen Hydra. I think I've said that many times. For many reasons, I love Zen Hydra. There's one big reason, a pink reason, but for many reasons, I really love Zen Hydra. So this month, technically last week, and now for the most part in this month, we're going to be getting 2 Kaiser, who was teased last month very, very epically. I don't like that tease, but it was a good tease. And now we have our full look at his suit, his gear, his stuff. You've probably seen most of it because most of it is out in HD quality. But I'm not talking about HD. Here on the Thomas Jujube channel, we do not deal with high definition. Am I right? Only 280p quality. So, Two Kaiser is the sixth ranger of the Zenkaigers, and which is a weird thing to say looking at him. And he is, I was gonna say played by, but he's not. I don't know the actor's name. He is when he's not Two Kaiser, he's Zox Gold Tweaker, and that is the first time I've said that out loud, and I don't really like it. It's a weird name. It's a weird name, but it's befitting of his character and his suit. So good for him. Good on Toei for writing that name. I don't know why they did that, but I love they give you dance lessons for how his transformation goes because he just dances. What I just wanted to check for curiosity. His dance is just about perfectly timed with the Zenkaiger's little spin thing. So we're gonna have the Zenkaiger during like a full team roll call. All the Zenkaigers are just gonna be spinning like one by one, do 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 do, and then he's just like, he's either in the middle or on the side, and he's just dancing the whole time. And I don't know, that's really funny. He's just really funny. I think everything about it's funny. Like even his suit is a gold Gokaiger, which has caused a ruckus in the fandom. My personal opinion on it is I really love this suit. I think the suit looks great. I can understand the complaint that it is just Gokai Gold, and I do agree in a way because I do think it's kind of annoying. He just has the Gokai Red visor. I would have liked if they at least gave him a different visor, but I don't really mind. I think the suit looks great. I love the gold and red. The gold and red is such good color scheme for this suit. Yes, because I love red, but also as many people have pointed out, we usually get like gold and blue for Sixth Rangers, so gold and red is like a really unique touch for Sixth Rangers, and I think it looks awesome on the suit and the shoulder pads and whatever. I mean, it looks great. I really like him, but I can't understand the complaint that he looks that he's too similar to the Gokaigers. Now, to say that he's too similar to the Gokaigers and doesn't fit in with the Zenkaigers is a bit weird because none of the Zenkaigers fit with each other. Like if you took Zenkaiser, just a picture of Zenkaiser, and took Juran, and you showed them to someone like 10 years ago, and you told them they're from the same Sentai show, they would probably question Juran even being a Sentai Ranger, let alone in the same, like, a Ranger part of Zenkaiser's team. So, I mean, like, he was never gonna fit necessarily with the others, like, visually, but obviously, like, idea-wise, he's another Super Sentai reference, evolution, whatever. Like, the others are just evolutions of a Megazord. So, you know, he fits with the aesthetic in the sense he doesn't fit with the aesthetic, if that makes sense. So, I'm not sure if you can see this because of the cropping. No, you can't really see it. But on the left here, he's using team number 31, which is Kikai Ranger, I think, because it looks like he's using the chopper, the big hand that the Rhino dude uses. I'm just gonna look up like Super Sentai 31. Okay, Google, Super Sentai 31. It just gave me a link to the 31st episode of Kaizuko Sentai Gokaiger. So, I'm just going to assume it's Kikai Ranger. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to guess it's Kikai Ranger. So, moving on. Here's the actor again. This is the best part of the catalogs because down here we have Magine. But here's the actors. That's his. I think this is his younger sister. I've kind of seen back and forth. It's his younger. It's his older sister. But it's his sister nonetheless. Her name is Flint. So we've come full circle, and now we've got Kamen Rider Flint in Sentai. So the rumors that you didn't know, Kamen Rider Flint has been a rumor since like literally December of last year, and now we have confirmation it was never Kamen Rider Flint. It was actually Flint in Super Sentai. So I think that's a fun full circle moment where Flint is actually in the Sentai show, not the Rider show. And then here are their little friends. Apparently these are their siblings that were turned into robots when they went to another world. So that I don't know how that worked, but I think whether or not they were their blood relatives, I think they are just treated as their relatives in the show. So that's fun. The red one is based very clearly on Shinken-O from Shinkenger, and his name is Katanar. And his other brother, is very clearly based on the O-Ranger Robo from O-Ranger, and his name is Riki. And they're cute. I like them. So from what I understand, these dudes are all from the pirate world, and they're part of a big team of pirates, I think. And then for some reason they broke into the Toji Tendo headquarters and stole the blueprints for his changer, the Gear Dailinger. So they made the changer based off of Toji Tendo stuff. And then from there, they really like the Go-Kaijers, apparently. So the reason his suit looks so much like the Go-Kaijers is because they literally are like, the Go-Kaijers look cool. Can we just, like, copy them? So, I mean, in the sense, he does just look like a Go-Kaiger knockoff. He is canonically, I think, meant to be a Go-Kaiger knockoff. So, it kind of fits. So he does have other forms because he's a 6th Ranger. They got to do something interesting with him. So I think he, like, I don't know if he merges physically, but at least mentally, it seems like he merges with either Riki or Katanar. So if he merges with Katanar, he gets a Shinkenger form. I don't know if there's an official name for it. It's just called Two Kaiser Shinken form, I think, right? But this form looks great. I really like this. The Two Kaiser form, the red on the Two Kaiser form was already great, and adding more red to it looks even more great, which is not grammatically correct, but it's too late now. And I really like this suit. I really enjoy how the symbols change. The chest goes from Go-Kaiger symbol to the Shinken red symbol, and then his head gets the Shinken red symbol, and the number changes to 33, which is a really cool touch. And he's based off the hyper form from, or sorry, not the, this is the hyper form, yeah, the hyper form from Shinkenger, but because it's red, he looks more like the other form that I don't know the name of. So that's interesting. I don't know why they didn't just make it based off the form it looks more like, but whatever. It's fine. And then the pair with that, Riki can merge with him, and he can become the O-Ranger form, which does not look as cool. Definitely not as cool. In these pictures, but this is my first time seeing these pictures, it doesn't look that bad, but it doesn't look amazing. I don't really like the colors. I mean, honestly, it's just the colors. The design is fine. It's just the blue and silver, or like, it feels so tacked on. And people have pointed this out, and since then I can't unsee it, and it annoys me. This is not in the order of the O-Ranger mecha. 1, 2, 4, 3, 5. They're so close, and apparently it's like supposed to reference the robot combination, but who cares? You should have put it in order, Toei. So now this is why it's the worst form, really. It's because it's out of order. It's not the colors, it's the out of order. For some reason they're trying to tell me it's King Ranger here. It's King Ranger base, but there's no, I refuse to believe that. There's no blue or silver on King Ranger, and for some reason they're telling you it's King Ranger. So I don't know. So Shinken form definitely better between the two in my opinion. So here now we have Mecha Time. Actually, before we get to Mecha Time, I forgot to point out that he gets a cute little star on his face and his chest. Okay, moving on. Now we have his mechas. So he has, this is Crocodile, I think, and it's a weird half silver, half gold crocodile jet thing. I don't know why. And then I was not expecting this. They can split apart, and it forms a cute little bike for Riki, and whatever the hell this is for Katanar, and that's just kind of cute. I really like that. I assume that's what the toys are gonna do. And I don't know. That's just a cute little touch for the cute little robot friends. But it makes me wonder, what purpose did this serve before these two turned into robots? If they are just people turned into robots, I don't really know. I don't know the names of those forms. I'm sorry, but there you go. So Riki and Katanar combine with Crocodile to form the different robot combinations. So when Riki combines with Crocodile, this forms Tukaio Riki. I think that's the name. And it's a silver thing with an arm. I don't really have much of an opinion on these. They look like Sentai robots. They're not really stand out amazing to me. So between the two, I prefer, again, the Katanar form, just because it's red and gold, and I think that looks much cooler than the silver and blue. So here's Katanar this is Riki. Tukaio Riki just shooting a dude. And then this is a nice picture. Here's Tukaio Katanar slashing another dude. So slashing, shooting. Many people have pointed out this is kind of like a reference to X Emperor from Lupin Ranger versus Powder Ranger. You got the silver and gold form. One form has a gun, the other form slices people. So there's, from what I hear, this is kind of meant to be like a Super Six Ranger reference. Like, if we go back, the crocodile could be seen as like a reference to Joe the World with his crocodile form. Visually, it's also reminiscent of Mosarex from Yu Soldier. The different forms, the bike is reminiscent of the Omega Ranger cycle or Deca Break cycle in Deca Ranger. I don't know what this would be referencing. And then the Lupin Ranger versus Paddle Ranger, you've got the two different forms, and you're referencing that. But I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. What is very clearly intentional, though, is the Shinkenger O-Ranger Megazord reference again. With so you've got like the little reference where they're just little friends, robot friends, and then they grow big and combine with a crocodile, and now they're a bigger reference with the now they got the team that's weird. The Riki form has the team symbol, but the O-Ranger form, maybe that is the team symbol. I don't know what character that is, so that might be the team symbol. But the helmets are very clearly like a super stylized version of the helmets from their original Megazord friends. And speaking of Megazords, if you didn't know, I've ranked all 45 primary Megazords in Sentai. So if you like me talking about Megazords here right now, I've done that for the last 3 weeks. So I don't have a link in the description. It's on the channel. So go do that if you'd like, or if you wouldn't like, we can keep talking about Tukaiser and Stay Caesar, actually, because he wasn't in the scans last month, and he was in the show this month. So here's our three human dudes, kind of. Stacy only looks like a human, but he's not fully human. I mean, there's the possibility the other two aren't human. We don't have confirmation they are fully human, but we also don't have confirmation they aren't human. So here's more Tukaiser stuff. This is helmetless shot. Was not expecting that. Here's the I don't know, what are these called? Are they just, everyone's been referring to them as SD robos, but I don't know if that's what they're actually called. So for now, they're just the little robot friends. So here's the team all together. Flint is just stanced up here. Everyone's been saying she should become the Silver Ranger to pair with Tukaiser, and I agree. She should match up with Tukaiser, and we could have a brother sister gold Suikar Force. This is another beautiful case of Toei just calling stuff a weird name. The official romanization here is Gold Suikar, but it's pronounced Gold Tweaker. So just call it whatever the hell you want. I don't care. Here's the Gear Dailinger, and I'm mixed on this thing. Visually, it's kind of strange. I think it looks better in sword mode, but because there is this kind of interesting Shinkenger reference. The sword looks a lot like the Rekka Daizanto, to me at least. So I don't know if that was intentional, but if it is, that's a cool reference. But other than that, I don't know. It's fine. It's voiced by the Gokaiger's Mobiritz actor or voice actor, so that's a really great reference with that. Was not expecting that. I don't think we've ever had a voice actor come back to reprise their role in another toy. I guess like Build's actor voiced the Build Gashet, but I don't know if that does that count. I don't know. I guess that counts. At least in Sentai, I can't think of that happening because Sentai doesn't have a lot of electronic gimmicks. So I don't know. And then here's some great pictures of the Shinken and Oren forms. And they're this is a weird picture. He's holding both gears. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to use both gears? You gotta pick one. And also the gears have Riki and Katanar on them. I talked to them, Riki and Katanar, and I think that's also really cool. Actually, is the gear here? No, I wanted to talk about the Gokaiger gear. Oh well. Here we have more looks at the Megazords. So yeah, I think they look great. I don't really have any problems with them. I don't love them, but I don't have any problems with them. So that's about how I feel about most stuff in Toku. It's like, I think it looks really great, but I'm not like in love with it. Most things in Toku, as I said. So I did want to bring up an interesting point, I think, with we'll go back to this picture. The gear is kind of interesting. I haven't seen anyone point this out, but Two Kaiser's gear has the 35 on his forehead, and none of the other Zenkaiger gears have the number on their forehead. And I think they did that on purpose, I think, because it looks so similar to the Gokaiger gear because they're both gold. They both have the same Gokai red visor. So I guess they just went like, I guess to differentiate it, we might as well put the number on his forehead very visibly. And I don't know, I think that's kind of a neat detail, but it doesn't match the other Zenkaiger gears, so that's also a little annoying. But it's a Six Ranger, I guess, so it wouldn't match anyway, right? You know, the Six Rangers always gotta look weird. So so the last part of the Zenkaiger scans is, I mean, I kind of want to say this is stuff I'm most excited for, just because, you know, Two Kaiser's here already, so it's like I'm excited to see more of Two Kaiser, but it's also like, I mean, I've seen Two Kaiser. This thing, there's a better, no, we'll go to the better picture now. Stacy is getting his own robot called the Battle Caesar Robo, which is, at least name-wise, a very clear reference to the Battle Fever Robo from Battle Fever J, and visually it is also a reference to that. You got the horns and the things on the side, and that's kind of it. It's not very reminiscent of that, and I love this robot. It looks so cool. Like, at least, as I've been saying, like, the other two robots, they look fine, but I don't really hate him. I don't really love him. This, I love. I love the look of this robot. He looks great. I'm excited to see it in action. It's a little sad that he's, like, barely in the scans, so who knows? Who knows how big of an impact it's going to be. I wonder if they're going to sell a toy of it, because, I mean, that seems like something you'd want to sell a toy, right? It's a big robot. You can sell the big robots. But I can't think of, like, if there was ever, at least in my time in the fandom, there's never been a premium Bandai robot. So that's that's kind of exciting. So also, I mean, kind of a big thing, but he's been in the show at this point, is Stacy as Star Caesar, and he looks cool. I don't know. A lot of people, I don't, myself included, people don't like the Battle Fever J suits. This is a very, very big improvement on the Battle Fever J suits, so that's great. But I don't really, the colors are a bit weird on Star Caesar. The purple and red are okay, but Stacy's cool. I really liked his debut where he summons all the robots. Like he summoned a lot of robots, and then they all went away. But he did summon a lot, and he's doing a lot with the team summons. So I think that's pretty great. He's a very cool addition to the show, and I'm excited to see what he's gonna do going forward. Because at the very least, I mean, just if he was just a dude summoning other teams, like I think Bosco did in Gokaiger, that's cool. But then he's also an evil ranger, that's cool. Then now he has a big ass, awesome looking robot, and that's even cooler. So he's very cool, and I'm excited to see what he will have in store for the Zenkaigers and to Kaiser, presumably, because he's fighting what's his name, the Katanar robots. So Stacy is in the show. He's the way I see this is kind of, this looks more like Toei covered up Stacy in last month's scans. So now he's in this month's scans to be like, hey, remember he was in the show this month. You just we hid it from you. We're pretty funny, aren't we? Toei, those damn people who work at Toei. This is a good point. Patty's had another €5 super chat. Thank you. And he said, if nothing else, Zenkaiger is making Battle Fever's aesthetic good. Amen to that. Good job. Good job, Zenkaiger, for making a pretty cool suit out of a pretty bad aesthetic, at least. The helmet's cool. I like the helmet. For Stacy, at least. The Star Caesar helmet. The name is also pretty great. Wonderful pun. Stay Caesar. I've been saying like Star Caesar, but technically it's Stay Caesar. It sounds kind of like a YouTuber like ending thing, like Stay Caesar, everyone, but that doesn't make sense. So I hope if Stacy becomes good, he should say that as his like finisher line, like Stay Caesar, and then like finger gun at the screen or whatever. So that's it for Zenkaiger. So we're gonna leave it on where did it go? On this picture, because it's the only picture with Magine, and that makes me really sad. I feel heartbroken, but there's actually there's a little bit of Two Kaiser on this picture, but oh yeah, you can barely see down here. There is a gear. I can't tell what gear that is. It looks like 04, but it's hard for me to tell. So, and I also don't know what Sentai 04 is. So, I don't know what power that would be providing. But there's a gear down there, and there's a Magine over here. So, thoughts on Two Kaiser, Zox Gold Tweaker, Flint's Gold Tweaker, Riki Gold Tweaker, Katanar Gold Tweaker, and Stacy, the person. Who's the new writer? The new writer, I've already talked about him earlier. It's Master Logos transforming into Solomon, Kamen Rider Solomon, and he's epic, kind of, from a certain perspective. 04 is Denzi Man. Okay. Insert High Magine. I agree. I mean, I said High Magine everyone, but I mean I said High Magine earlier, but yes, High Magine again. Oh yeah, I guess I don't think the episode 6 came out in between in this last month, and that is my favorite Zenkaiger episode. Episode 6 is really pretty with Magine. Magine's very pretty in the clean Magine outfit with the mask. And the episode is also really cute with Magine. So the episode 6 is the best Zen Hydra episode, if anyone was curious. Everyone's like, oh, the 7's the best because the anniversary stuff. No, it's 6 because Magine wears a mask and she says Nununu a lot actually in that episode. So, do I think we will be getting new Rangers in Zenkaiger? For sure. In the Geartlinger, people have hacked the Geartlinger because people are very smart, and there's one sound in the Geartlinger that says new hero. Where there's two. There's one that's activated by 2 Kaiser's gear, and there's another that hasn't been used yet. So there's 2 new hero sounds. So presumably we're getting another ranger whose gear will activate that new hero sound. Presumably they're also getting like a new changer because the Gear Dielinger does not read that new hero sound, and it's just a generic new hero sound in the Gear Tlinger. So it's probably a new changer. It's going to use new hero sound. What that new hero is going to be based on is a different question entirely. But here's a good question. Is there still time to submit to Toku Ideas 3? Yes, there's like 11 hours until I close this submission. So in the description, there's a link to the video that talks about how you can submit to the Toku Ideas 3. So if you want to submit, there's still time. I'm still taking submissions. And if you don't want to submit, then that's also fine. Just know that I am still taking submissions. Okay, well, someone said that the new hero sound in the Geartlinger could be using the Stacy gear. But Stacy's gear, I mean, he's not a new hero. He's a bad guy. So it doesn't make sense for him to use the new hero sound. And there's also another sound in the Geartlinger that, like, it sounds confused, and then it sounds like a weird hack sound, like electronics bzz, 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 buzzing, and it that fits Stacy gear, since Stacy's bad guy. So bad guy gear make bad guy sound, and the Geartlinger makes more sense than it says new hero. So that's what I think. I could be wrong. Maybe, I mean, there is definitely the possibility Stacy becomes good, because in the last episode they confirmed he's not part of the Toji Tendo. He's just kind of doing whatever he wants to do. He's just what I mean. Yeah, he said like he doesn't work with like the Toji Tendo. He's just kind of like, oh, they gave me this toy, I'll fight you, I guess, and maybe he'll turn good. It would be great if he turned good and they give him like a new roll call to match the other Rangers. That would be a really cool twist. We need Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, but it's all Magine. I agree with that. I should do that. Which one is older, Kamen Rider Sentai or Ultraman? Ultraman is the oldest. I think it might be the oldest Toku besides Godzilla, but I'm not sure there's anything older than Ultraman but younger than Godzilla. But out of those 3, it is the oldest, yes. I think we will have 10 Rangers, 5 humans, 5 Kikinoids. I think it would be cool for like the final 5, 2 Kaisers, Stay Caesar, and Flint takes on the Ninja Ranger form. I mean, yeah, that's definitely possible. We already have 4 Kikinoids, and we have 4 Kikinoids and 4 human Rangers. So we just need one. We literally just need like a Kikinoid human duo, or it fits, or I mean, Flint becomes a Ranger and then another Kikinoid, whatever. So. Do I agree on Fua as the protagonist? Fua is the secondary writer, but it is very fun to joke that he's the main character of 01, because he does a lot in 01, more than Naruto at times. Oh, thank you, Megadong. Yeah, Ultra Q is older than Ultraman, but Ultraman is still the oldest in that specific question. Maho Sentai Majin Ranger. I agree with that. That's the way I'm looking at Majin Ranger when I watch it. I still haven't started it. I'm very bad, I know, but do I wish there was more original tokusatsu nowadays, as in more Sentai Rider Ultra? Yeah, that would be cool. I don't think it's a thing I absolutely need, because I really enjoy Zenkaiger and Saber and Power Rangers when it was still on, but because it's on hiatus now, not because it's canceled. But I wouldn't mind if Toei like just announced like Metal Heroes is coming back or something. I don't know. I would check that out. The purple villain becoming a hero is a classic toku trope. That's true, especially with Stay Caesar and Kamen Rider Caliber sharing literally the same visor design. Basically, Caliber's turning good this month, so it's only a matter of time for Stacy. What do I think of Lone Wolf? I think Lone Wolf looks cool. Probably, I think I prefer Assault Wolf more, but I think it's a very good Vulcan form video. Not video. I said video because someone said video. But it's a very good Vulcan form. Nununu Sentai Majin Ranger. Yes. I said this on Twitter the other day. I really am praying that we get like a song from the Zenkaigers, because Zox sings his own song in the show, and they have singers as the Kikinoids. So like literally, you just write a song and give them a song. I can't write a song, but if Toei, I'll write the songs for you, or at least I'll write the Majin one. It'll be her saying Nununu Magine a lot. But Dino Fury video when. Probably not for a while. I did the first episode review, and I don't really intend to do another video until season 2 is over. The full season review, because I don't really want to review season 1 when like it's technically season half or something. So I don't see myself doing a Dino Fury video in the future unless they really like make the perfect adaptation of Weisel. Then I should probably make a video. Like, you guys did a good job with Weisel. I'm, as the big Weisel fan, I'm not sure if I'm number one Weisel fan, but as big Weisel fan, I approve of this adaptation of Weisel. But that's the only video I see myself doing. Lone Wolf or Justice Serval? I don't know. It's a good question, because they're both kind of like the same idea of like a orange blue, like a, I don't know, a repaint form. I mean, they're V-Cinema forms, that's obvious, but I don't know. That's kind of a tough one, because they're both different. I guess Justice Serval, just because it's a new Valkyrie form, and that's cool. But also, I like the big sword arm things are kind of epic. So, aren't the Kikinoids voice actors? Yes, all the Kikinoids are just voice actors from other shows. So, at least most prominently, what's his name? Galen's voice actor was Aaron in Attack on Titan, I think. And Majine's voice actor was Rika in Gridman. So, they're all voice actors in other stuff. And they should sing in Zenkaiger. Stacy becoming a character like Gentoku for the last half of Zenkaiger. That would be really funny, because he's got that, in my opinion, kind of iconic weird like dress robe thing right now. So if he's just he just wears like a t-shirt and pants, that would look really strange. Maybe for the 5th Kikinoid, it's a reference to Stag Beetle, since he's a robot for the team, and maybe a Time Ranger themed ranger. Well, there is a Time Ranger thing coming. I'm not sure if at this point it's a rumor or if it's confirmed listings, but from what I hear, we're getting a 2 sets of super gears in quarter 3. Kaito uses the super gear to combine with the 6th Ranger robot from Jew Ranger, so the Dragon Sword and Power Rangers. He combines with that. I'm not sure if he actually combines with the robot or it's like the idea he combines with that robot, and he gets like a Super Zenkaiger form, and then he's supposedly able to turn big, and then he combines with Juran to form the Zenkai-O Super Juran, which is a sound in Juran now if you look up someone pushing buttons into toys. And then Two Kaiser's also going to get a super gear, which turns him into what's supposed to look like a Gokaiger or the Gokaio robot using the Time Ranger superpower, but it's like using the Q-Rex. I don't know the Japanese name. It's using Q-Rex from Time Force, Time Ranger. So they're both getting like crazy super forms based on Sixth Ranger mechas, but I don't know if that's confirmed or just a rumor. So, yeah. But I mean, we know a super thing is coming because that is a sound in both toys. It's just, what will that do? I was personally really holding out for a super form for all the Zenkaigers, because I really wanted to see Magine get a super form. And if they don't do that, that will make me sad. There's a lot of at this point I just realized I have a lot of high hopes for Zenkaiger related to Magine, and if none of that happens, I'll be very sad. But at the same time, I won't hate Zenkaiger because it has Magine in it. So here's a good question: does Magine live in your mind rent free? I pay her rent. She doesn't pay me. She lives in my mind rent free, but I pay her rent, if that makes sense. That doesn't make any sense, I just realized, but who cares? What are your opinion on retool, kit bash, and repaints? If it looks cool, I don't really mind. I mean, at this point, retool, repaint, kit bashes are expected for like everything. I guess not in Sentai. Sentai doesn't really do the kit bash repaint stuff a lot, but at least in Rider it's kind of expected at this point, so I embrace it. In Sentai, I can't think of I guess since Two Kaiser is essentially just a Gokai Red repaint and I like that, then I don't really mind that. One other thing I forgot to mention is with Gokaiser not Gokaiser, Two Kaiser looking like Gokai Gold. Everyone's been calling him Gokai Gold. I call him that sometimes too because it's funny. He just looks like Gokai Gold. I am personally, another high hope I have for Zenkaiger. Technically, it's not a high hope. This is just something I think would be kind of fun if they did, but I'm really not expecting them to do this, is they could have the Gokaigers come back in the show, and then they do a roll call, and you could have Zox join their roll call, but instead of saying Two Kaiser, he says Gokai Gold, and he could join their roll call as Gokai Gold, and then you could have a gag like, well, you're not Gokai Gold, you're Two Kaiser, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I think that would be kind of funny. We don't get a lot of roll call gags, so that would be a really cool twist. But to be fair, every Sentai member is a recolor of each other. That's true. Not every Sentai, because Zenkaiser is not like that. Zenkaiger, not Zenkaiser, but for the most part, yes, every Sentai member is just a recolor of each other. So yeah, Vroom does have a super sound as well, but in the leak listing, whatever, if it's confirmed or not, it says that would be toy exclusive. So technically, it's just Super Juran that's a robot, and Super Vroom could happen, but I guess they wouldn't do that. The one thing with that makes me like confused is, as much as I don't like Gaon, what would happen to him? Like, we have Super Juran, and then we have Vroom Magine, and then what does Gaon do? Or alternatively, you have Super Juran and, okay, I like this. You have Super Juran and then Vru Gaon, and Magine is on her own because she doesn't need to combine with everyone. She's already the most powerful Zenkaiger on her own. So I think that's what they're going to do. That's a smart idea. Good job, Toei, if that's your idea. If it's not your idea, then it's my idea now. Out of all the Sentai suits, which one would you like to have remade into a Zenkaiger? I would like to see Ryusou Red Max as a Zenkaiger because I like the suit. Zox will get his own Gokai Gold Ranger Key and Gokai Cellular. That would be really great, actually. You don't even need. I wouldn't even need the Gokai just to come back. You could just do that, and that would be really funny. Someone asked, "Wait, you don't like Alan?" It's not that I don't not like him, but out of all the characters in the show, he's very definitively my least favorite because, on one hand, like in the last episode, or no, not the last episode, in episode 7, Stacy is very clearly a bad guy, and he stops Drunan from attacking him, and it's like his whole thing with protecting humans, doesn't like Kikinoids, is fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's an interesting twist, but just in that specific moment, it's like this dude is clearly bad. What are you doing? I don't know. It was a weird thing. And then in episode 3 he insults Magine, and I can't let that slide. I can't I can't put someone who insults her in anywhere high standing of the other Zenkaigers. So currently my Zenkaiger ranking is at the bottom is Gaon. Above that is Kaito, like very very at the bottom is Gaon. Above that is Kaito because I mean he's not bad, it's just he's I don't know, he's there. Above them is I don't know. I guess Flint, but Flint hasn't done anything, so it's not like I can really hold that against her. I guess Flint and Zox are kind of like on the same level because Flint literally is in the show. She's in the previews, in the scans, and Zox has been in all of 2 minutes, but he does a dance and he sings weirdly. So I mean, I can't really hold that against them. And then Stacy's just kind of a badass, and I don't mind that. And then Vroon is funny because he's like smart, but he's also stupid. And then Drunan is nice to Magine, so he's second. And then at the top is Magine. And then the villains, who cares about the villains? I don't know. Oh, and I guess the grandma would go above or below Stacy, like right above or right below Stacy, because she's fine. She's kind of like Kaito in that she's just kind of there, I feel, but Kaito, but she's funny. She does more funny things, and Kaito is not as funny. So, but I don't hate Kaito. He's second to last, but it's not because I hate him. He's just I find the other characters much more endearing or interesting or Magine. So Gaon is racist. I mean, from a certain point of view, possibly. Gaon is a bit of a scatterbrain, and Zox literally sings a sea shanty. Yeah, he just sings. That's certainly a way to debut your 6th Ranger. Just, hey, we're gonna have you sing. Okay? Yes? Alright, great. I think the actor is an actual singer, like the other Kikinoids. Come on, do it, Toy. So, that maybe they hired him because he not. I like this. Being nice to Magine equals a great character. Can we make this the official ranking system? I mean, if we did that, then I would also have to put, Kaito? No, I think Kaito's fine where he is. I guess that's true. I need to wait and see how Zox and Flint react to Magine in order to accurately rank them, because that will determine their fate for sure. And same with Riki and Katanar. They're on the chopping block. If they're not nice, then it could be over for them. We'll have to do away with the little SD robos. Only no Megazords for 2 Kaiser, just a big crocodile thing. Have I watched the Saber movie and spin-offs and 01 movies? I've watched the... If you mean the spin-offs, like the Retsudan Chronicles, like the little short special stuff, I was watching those as they came out. But I haven't seen the movie or the 01 movies. And I don't know when I'm going to see the 01 movies stuff. So, because I want to review it, but I also am currently working on Toku Ideas 3. So, I'll probably just watch them and like write notes down. And then in like 3 years, I'll review them. Because I still haven't reviewed Shinkenger or Ultraman Z or Ultraman Orb. So that's probably coming soon. I have a list of stuff I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna talk about it here though because that's Patreon exclusive information. So yeah. Do I think the Kamen Rider Saber gear will be used in the summer movie or just a thing for Toei to sell a new gear? I mean, we don't know what the summer movie is going to be. If it's a crossover, I fully expect the gear to be used and sold. If it's not a crossover, it's probably just going to be a toy to use. So, Vroon get points off from dissing Majine's mess. That's true. That's true, yeah. I'll agree with that. Vroon, but he wasn't mean to her necessarily because they made up by the end of the episode, and he combines with her and he's nice with her in the robot form, so I can't really knock him off too much. But Gaon, he never apologized, so I'm not letting that slide. If he thinks I'm letting that slide, then he's crazy. The final Toku ideas after this, you're not allowed to make Toku fanfics. Maybe, I don't know. Zenkaiger, but only when Majin speaks. That's true. If I'm going to be completely honest, when I watch Zenkaiger, I kind of just don't pay attention to... If Majin's on screen, that's the only thing I'm paying attention to. And I'm not saying this to meme. Like, if all the Zenkaigers are on the screen, she's the only one I'm looking at. Well, if she's not on the screen, I'm watching, like, Two Kaiser or whatever because his suit is cool and he dances, but... What are my opinions on human Majin? Kind of everything I've said about normal Majin just applies to human Majin, in all honesty. So, I do wonder, actually, speaking of that, there was a rumor that Zenkai Red was going to be Two Kaiser, and since then that has obviously been disproven. So it makes me wonder if they are still going to do something with Zenkai Red, because he's a dude. I mean his status in the show is like completely unknown because we don't know if he was just part of Kaito's dream or if like there's some memory thing going on and he's real and the other Kikinoids don't remember him, or maybe he just exists and Kaito had a weird premonition of him showing up. I don't know. I would not mind if he showed up and then just kicked ass again. if Stacy gets the robot and then he shows up with his own robot now and he's like, "What's up, guys? I got my robot now." And maybe the humans and Kaijers come back too. I don't know. He says in the special he's looking for like the true Zenkaigers, so that kind of made me think at some point in the show he would come back with his own Zenkaiger team, like Zenkai Red, Zenkai Blue, Zenkai Yellow, Zenkai Pink, Zenkai Green. But I don't really know. If he doesn't show up, I mean that's fine. But they've kind of left that door open for him to show up, and I think they could open that door. Pun not intended with the latest episode being about doors, but yeah, I would like Zenkai Red to pull a Falcon, just kind of show up in the show, just, "What's up? Remember me from..." Except with Falcon, it's like the big budget movie, and he comes back. Zenkai Red coming back is like, "Hey, I was in that little special where we literally reused a suit from a movie, and I'm back. What's up?" Zenkai Red is Aka Red reborn. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the suit is very clear. Like, Zenkaiser is like a whole Go Ranger reference with the colors and the design, but Aka Ranger is, or sorry, Zenkai Red is just Aka Ranger Part 2, or Super Aka Ranger, whatever. Zenkai Red versus Gokai Gold. This is true. That would be kind of funny, actually. We need one more repaint ranger. Zenkai Red versus Gokai Gold versus Juo Purple. No, that's Juo Condor. If the character ranking is based on how well the characters treat Majin, then Stay Caesar should be dead last. Well, technically, he has not done anything to her. Like, he hasn't physically attacked her, I think, and he's only summoned the Rangers that attacked her. In the literally in the episode Stacy debuts, Gaon knocks Juran's his sword into Magine. So Gaon was more at fault in that situation. So do I think we will see the Dark Go Ranger gear that Stacy uses since it was destroyed by Two Kaiser? If it was destroyed so easily, I was thinking they were the Tojiri gears, or the Toji gears, the Super World gears, that were like reconfigured, but they're just gears that Two Kaiser destroyed. So I mean, I don't see a reason for why they couldn't just rebuild them, because they're just gears, I guess. They're just power sources things. So who knows? They might do it because they still have to sell the gear for the premium Bandai toy that has not been announced yet. So there's that. Thoughts on the Genmu special? It was weird. I was really happy that they brought Genmu back because I love X8, and I thought it was really cool they brought Cronus back too. But then I'm going to try not to explicitly spoil for anyone who hasn't seen it, but I thought it was really annoying that how the ending played out, and I don't like Guy as a character, so how his story played out is kind of disappointing, and I'm also a little disappointed that they put in the black Zaya suit in the special. They explained it very nicely. I think that was really great, but they didn't sell the keys. I don't know. That seems like I wasn't gonna buy it, but it's like weird. Like, they brought the suit back, which would have been an easy marketing push for the keys, and then they didn't do that. And then at the same time, there was no new X8 stuff announced. So like they had this stupid Geo versus Decade special, which I don't even want to watch because I hear it's completely ridiculous and I have no interest in it. And they announced like a whole new Decade form, a whole new Decade K-Touch. We're going to re-release the Neo Deca driver. You can buy the two in a set. We've got a new Saber Ride Watch, Saber form, a new Decade 21 Ride Watch, which isn't even in the special, but we're going to make it. And then they bring X8 back, and they're like, no, we're not going to do anything. No new form. The only new form is different keys for the suit that came out a month ago, but we're not even going to sell the keys that was originally used with. We're not going to use a new form. There's a perfect opportunity to have Genmu use Bang Bang Tank. Like, he didn't even have to use the Gashat as a form, but there's a part where he uses a finisher, and the Proto Gashets don't really have finishers. So you could have just had him use Bang Bang Tank as a finisher, and then that's your excuse to sell the toy that you should have sold 5 years ago actually, and they didn't do that. So it was kind of, in one sense, I enjoyed it because it's fun to see X8, Kuroto, and Cronus back, and now they're fighting each other. There were a few cute details in the special, but in another sense, it was like, oh, I don't know, you didn't give us Bang Bang Tank. That makes me sad. But I do really like I did like seeing level 2 Genmu come back, because we haven't seen that since like episode 12 of X8, I think. So it was really awesome to see it back. And then also with the Bug Visor as a weapon, which hasn't been used as a weapon since, I think, well, no, Graphite used it in the finale, so I guess it hasn't been that long. And then fighting Cronus in that version with his own Bug Visor was also really cool. So as an X8 fan, it was kind of cool to see the suits in these different scenarios, but as an X8 fan, it was also disappointing that they didn't give me the opportunity to buy a new toy. So yes, X8 was 5 years ago. I know, I feel really old. It's been this does not feel like 5 years, but so let's see, I've been going for an hour and 40, so I'm gonna close out in a second. So if anyone has any last questions, I'll try to answer them. Also keep in mind that if you want to ask me questions, I just have a Discord server and I have Twitter, and I'm pretty active on both of those, so you could just ask me a question there too. And then what's next for videos? Next thing I'm trying to do is Toku Ideas 3, because we're almost at 20,000 subscribers. I forgot to mention that. We're at like 19.8 thousand, which is crazy. So we're so close. Even if I get it done and we're still not in 20,000, I'll just release the video anyway. It's the 20,000 special. I don't have to be at 20,000 to release it. At least that's my mindset. So next video will probably be Toku Ideas 3. If not, it would probably be an unboxing of some kind. Because I have a box on the way that I will not disclose the contents of. I'm going to keep it a surprise. But I also still have the unboxing I filmed in December when I got the new Saber stuff. So one of those will probably be next, or Toku Ideas 3. And then after that, it's going to be like review, Sentai potential, writer potential, review. I've got plans set out for like almost the rest of the year. So exciting times ahead. If you want to stay tuned for those exciting yes, orb review included in that mess of reviews. If you are excited for what's to come, there's a subscribe button, and you can click that, and that would be really cool. So, have I watched Infinity Train? I have not. I don't know what that is. Magine or Hyper Muteki? A Hyper Muteki suit based on Magine, or for Magine, her own Hyper Muteki suit, if that makes sense. That would really thinking about that would be really great. What if Magine had a sister? I hope that she is nice too, but I like her sister more. If this hypothetical sister, I like Magine more than the hypothetical sister. Thoughts on Saber's new form? If you're referring to Solomon, because Saber doesn't have a new form unless you're talking about Emotional Dragon, but I talked about all that earlier, but I think it all looks cool. I'm excited for it. What if 2 Kaiser got a silver form? Silver Kaiser. I hope they call it like, I don't know. I would rather, if he got a silver form, I would rather they just give it to Flint so they can fight together. Because he already has 2 forms. Do I think we will see Toma die in this week's episode, which then leads to maybe how he gets Emotional Dragon back? I don't think he's gonna die, because it looks like one of Kento's flashes, but I didn't think about it leading into Emotional Dragon. I think it's too soon for Emotional Dragon, because I think there's still like another week or 2 before Falchion comes back, which is probably when Emotional Dragon's going to debut. Actually, I think Emotional Dragon was tied to Falchion, so I would expect when Falchion comes back, then Toma suddenly gets Emotional Dragon back and is now Emotional Dragon. What if someone from Power Rangers comes into Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger as an extra hero? That would be really cool. I would actually really like that. I don't think they've ever really referenced Power Rangers other than the It's Morphin Time line and the Powerful Rangers, but that was in Akiba Rangers. So, thoughts on the Kamen Rider Blade's new form? I did talk about that in the last live stream last month, but I do really like it. I think it's a great final form for Blades. I just prefer King Line because I like the technological aspect more. But Tatagami Hyoju Senki is not a bad final form. It's a great final form. When is the Saber unboxing? Soon, hopefully. Sometime in May, at the least. What about the new writer? Solomon, as I mentioned, talked about him earlier. Solomon looks good. Good. I don't know why I said it like that. I was trying to say good, but I was also trying to say cool, and it kind of just combined into kyo. So, yeah, that was a mess, but I like Solomon. Yes, release Mighty Novel X. We're probably not going to get Mighty Novel X until CSM Gaim. I mean, not Gaim. We have CSM Gaim. CSM X-Aid. And even then, they might not because they don't do novel stuff that often. So, thoughts on Saber? I am personally a big fan of Saber. I mean, not a massive fan. I would say my excitement for Saber has died down since the show came out. But I've been enjoying Saber. I definitely, I mean, maybe not on the higher end of my writer stuff, because I have really enjoyed all the writer seasons I've seen up till now, but I am enjoying the show, and in my opinion, that's all that matters, right? If you enjoy the show, then you like the show, and I've been enjoying the show. So, when are we getting a finger revive? I don't know what that means. I heard a rumor of Saber's final form will be a Kamen Rider 02 sort of suit. Yeah, it's supposed to be he's using a new sword, so that kind of opens the door for him just having like a simple base form, kind of like 02, since 02 was just a new driver. So the fandom seems to be split on Saber. I agree with that in the sense that the fandom is kind of always split on things. It's either the best or the worst. Oh, don't hit the mic. But yeah, they did. There are a lot of opinions going about, and my message to everyone watching is just enjoy what you want to enjoy, as long as it's not, at least in tokusatsu, don't be weird about it. So with that, I think I'm gonna sign off. So thank you everyone for coming to the live stream. I had a lot of fun talking about Solomon, Trigger for the first time, Magine, whatever else happened in Zenkaiger. I don't know if there was anything else, but there was definitely Magine. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.